So what type of castle does a king with a fantastical imagination build? What type of castle is fit for a king with his head up in the clouds? Well, how about something like Neuschwanstein Castle, a fairy tale-like masterpiece nestled in the Bavarian Alps? The story of Neuschwanstein Castle begins with King Ludwig II, who ascended to the throne of Bavaria in 1864, after his father's sudden death. He was 18 years old and totally unprepared. A fervent admirer of the arts and a romantic soul, Ludwig sought to escape his responsibilities, as well as the political turmoil of his era, by immersing himself in a world of fantasy and beauty. Fascinated by the romantic ideals of medieval chivalry, and deeply inspired by the operatic works of Richard Wagner, the king envisioned a castle that would reflect the romantic ideals found in Wagner's operas. Though he already had his family's recently restored Hohenschwangau castle to live in, he felt a brand new castle that was better suited to his tastes is what was necessary. In 1869, casting all cares and all financial restrictions aside, Ludwig embarked on a quest to bring forth his romanticized vision of a bygone era. He engaged the services of the architect Eduard Riedel to help bring his fantasy castle to life. The location chosen for the castle was equally breathtaking. Atop a rugged hill overlooking the Hohenschwangau Valley, Lake Alpsee, and the nearby Hohenschwangau Castle. The construction of his dream castle would continue for over 2 decades, with Ludwig personally overseeing every detail of the design and construction. He named it Neuschwanstein Castle, which translates to New Swanstone, a nod to the Swan Knight, a character from Wagner's opera, Lohengrin. The swan motif is recurrent throughout the castle's interior decorations, emphasizing Ludwig's admiration for Wagnerian themes. Neuschwanstein Castle's architecture is a blend of various styles, including Romanesque, Gothic, and Byzantine elements. Its towering spires, turrets, and ornate facades create a fairy tale ambience that transports visitors to a world of knights, princesses, and medieval romance. The interiors are equally lavish, adorned with intricate woodwork, opulent furnishings, and vibrant murals, with themes from Wagner's operas and medieval legends. Despite its fairy tale appearance, Neuschwanstein Castle was never intended for defensive purposes. Ludwig envisioned it only as a personal retreat, where he could immerse himself in his artistic pursuits, and escape the pressures of royal life. Unfortunately, by 1886, the fairy tale king had gone bankrupt building his elaborate castle. As creditors were hounding him daily, he would threaten to unalive himself if they seized his palaces. His extravagant spending on the castle, and his withdrawal from political affairs, raised deep concerns among his advisors. Construction had already halted when they found King Ludwig's body, together with his psychiatrist, floating in Lake Starnberg. The circumstances surrounding their deaths are shrouded in mystery. In the days leading up to Ludwig's death, he was declared mentally unfit to rule, and subsequently deposed. Till this day, no one has ever been able to determine if he had actually taken his own life, or if he was murdered. At the time of King Ludwig's mysterious death, his castle was far from completion. His indecisiveness and constant revisions to the original plans had always given the project an indefinite completion date. The keep, together with the chapel, were never realized. Neither were the castle gardens. A simplified, budget-friendly completion took place in the years following his death. But it never came close to his original vision. Sadly, King Ludwig's dreamy castle would remain incomplete into perpetuity. Nevertheless, only 6 weeks after the king's death, Neuschwanstein Castle was opened to the public for a fee, allowing the estate to pay off the massive construction debts, as visitors got to marvel at its architectural grandeur. With its distinctive silhouette against the alpine backdrop and its fairy tale associations, the castle quickly became a major tourist attraction. Over the years, it has become one of the most recognizable and most visited castles in the world, drawing millions of tourists annually. In addition to its cultural significance, Neuschwanstein Castle also played a role in inspiring Walt Disney's Sleeping Beauty castle. The dreamy aesthetic of Neuschwanstein was the perfect muse for Disney's vision of enchanting castles in many of his animated films. Today, Neuschwanstein Castle stands as a testament to Ludwig II's romantic ideals, and his passion for the arts. Its history intertwines with the personal struggles of a king, who sought refuge in the world of imagination, leaving behind a legacy that extends far beyond the confines of its Bavarian hilltop.